Hello, my name is Lori, and on today's segment of Woke, we'll be talking about gun violence in schools. So far this year in 2018, we've had almost 300 shootings. On that, on average, possibly one shooting per week in schools. And Trump is now saying that we should possibly arm teachers as a solution for this. So what do you guys think about that?
I feel that Trump arming the teachers won't prevent these schools lessening their rate of deaths, and he tried to persuade the teachers by telling them that if you go to gun training, that you will get a bonus on your paycheck.
Wow. Yeah, I think that adding more guns to our gun problem so far, since from your statistics, that's really awful. That's going on in schools especially, and that teachers are educators and they're in that field to help teach students, and students shouldn't be going to school with like the possibility that more violence can happen.
I agree. I think that adding more guns means more violence. It's just more opportunity to have more accidents, and I feel like we should we should start solving the problem by going from where the problem starts, age of who can buy rifles or guns at home, parents, and warnings. I know that a lot of mass shootings, people get warnings and tips, and the FBI doesn't really take any of that in, and they just kind of disregard it, and that could be totally
I think
preventable.
Yeah.
I think in general, schools have a very general idea of what's appropriate at school. Almost every high school is the basic rule is no sex, no drugs, and no knives or firearms. And if students can't bring it in, I don't know why teachers would have the privilege of keeping these things in their possession, even though it's for safety reasons. My high school personally had security guards, so I think it was very beneficial, and it wasn't too risky to have security guards, because teachers are educators.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Students shouldn't have guns, but you can't really prevent the fact that they don't have guns, because obviously they could be taking firearms from their houses. If their family does have any guns. There's a statistic saying that 1 out of 20 students have seen another student holding a gun or a firearm overall at school, which is already really unsafe, because they didn't really say the age of the school, but. I do believe that teachers go to school to teach. That's what they do, and I do not agree with what's it called? Giving teachers firearms, but then definitely security guards. Just overall would be really good, because why would we have celebrities have the privilege of having so much money put towards security for themselves, just one person, but we don't have any protection for kids overall. Obviously not my kids, 'cause I don't have any, but just children overall. Why would we just let them go to this gun-free school where literally anything can happen? That's why there's so many mass shootings in America. So Sandy Hook, etc., etc.
Yeah. So do you guys feel like the responsibility is with the school in terms of teaching gun education? Do you guys feel like the issue is more regulation and how people are accessing and getting guns? What do you guys think?
I think it's regulation, definitely.
I definitely think it's regulation, and especially you feel like there's a lot of school shootings that happen, and then everyone's all about gun regulations.
Right.
And it's a month or two after, and then everyone kind of stops talking about it. And I think schools should have protection in place, but there needs to be more regulations to where you don't have to go to school with all these protections to be worried that you might have a mass shooting at your school.
I agree with this, but I feel like the line gets blurry when you think of the South, because here in the West Coast we're very we don't use guns, but in the South shooting, hunting is very normal. So I feel like the lines are very blurry, because that is part of a tradition. People are very oh, we've been hunting, we're only using it for hunting. So how would you regulate that?
But a sense of hunting,
There's still guns, so you have to regulate it.
You can't I don't think you should completely ban guns, even though I think it's a better idea. I don't think it's realistic, but I do think there should be higher restrictions, who can access it, because it's pretty easy to get a gun.
Yeah,
it really is.
You shouldn't be able to just purchase a giant rifle
just straight at the age of 18, just graduate from high school. That's not safe at all.
Yeah.
Because you're still basically a child.
Yeah.
So then we're all going to agree that we need more regulations in terms of trying to prevent versus giving teachers guns, which I think is a really good thing. I definitely have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.